Hello, my name is Pascal from RetroTendo, and today I'll show you how to install my USB-C mod in your PAL Sega Mega Drive one. You can find a link to my product in the video description. With your order, you'll receive the USB-C adapter and 2 heat shrink tubes. After installation, you'll be able to power the console with any standard USB-C power delivery charger that supplies 9 volts. Just check the adapter to make sure this voltage is listed. The tools you'll need are a screwdriver, wire cutters, some solder, a lighter, a soldering iron, and ideally, a heat gun. And now, let's get started. This mod is pretty simple and should be easy for anyone to do at home, even with no prior experience. Place the console upside down and remove the 6 screws. This mod has several clear advantages. First, you no longer need the bulky original power supply, making your setup much more flexible. Also, the ripple of modern USB-C power supplies is generally much lower than that of the old Sega adapter. This means you get less electrical noise, resulting in cleaner power inside the console, which can improve both picture and sound quality. Now carefully turn the console back over. Slightly lift the top shell and set it aside. Be careful here, as the power LED is still connected. However, you don't need to unplug it if you follow my method. Since I've already done this mod before, the wires in my console are already cut. But that doesn't change the installation process. Simply remove the old power adapter by pulling it up. Now use the wire cutters to cut both cables. Set the old adapter aside. You won't need it anymore. Use the wire cutters to strip a small section of insulation from both cables, so they're ready for soldering. Take the 2 included heat shrink tubes and slide them over the cable ends. Now insert the USB-C adapter. Press it down firmly until it clicks into place. The first time, this might require a bit of force. Grab your soldering iron, apply a bit of solder, and connect the new adapter wires to the existing console wires, red to red, white to white. Once that's done, slide the heat shrink tubes over the solder joints. Make sure they're centered over the connections. Ideally, you'll have a heat gun to shrink the tubing. But if you don't, you can also use a lighter. It works just as well. Heat the tubing with either tool until it shrinks tightly around the solder joints. Now let's organize the cables. It's important to tuck them behind this section here so they don't get pinched when reassembling the case. Then route them around this way, just like I'm doing here. Neatly place any extra cable to the side. Make sure nothing is rubbing against the bottom, and if necessary, create a small loop to avoid strain. And that's it. Now, place the top shell back on until it clicks into place. Make sure the volume and power buttons are aligned correctly before closing the case. Flip the console over and reinstall the screws. Tighten the screws hand tight. And here's how the modern USB-C power connection looks on your Mega Drive. Now, plug in your USB-C power delivery adapter and test it. I recommend using a power adapter that provides at least 30 watts. That's more than enough for the Mega Drive, even if you've installed additional mods. Enjoy your gaming and see you next time. Pascal from Retrotendo.